Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Kindly click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you will easily get notified. So today I'm going to be drafting a basic bodice block half scale. So if this is what you are interested in, kindly stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to take my neck width measurement, which is 3 inches. Then the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 17 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8.5, which is what I marked here. Then the neck width is 3 inches. Then for the chest line, for my chest line measurement, to obtain my chest line measurement, I'm going to divide the bust measurement by 6 and I'm going to add 2 inches to that. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 41 inches divided by 6 is going to give me roughly 7 inches, then plus 2 inches, that's going to give me 9 inches. So I'm going to be marking 9 inch from the shoulder line. I'm going to mark 9 inches here. Okay, then for the bust point, for the bust line, I'm using 11.5 inches. Then for the waistline, I'm going to be using 17 inches for the front. Note that the waistline for the front is different from the waistline at the back. That is shoulder to waist. For the shoulder to waist for the front is usually 17 inches, while the shoulder to waist for the back is 16 inches. That is for the measurement I'm using, which is the difference is only 1 inch. But there are some persons that the difference between their front and back is 2 inches. So use the one that suits you. Okay. So I'm going to draw out the lines now. So this is my chest line. Okay. So this is the bust line. And then this is my waist line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to on my chest line. So I'm going to label them. So this is my chest line, this is the bust line, and this is the waist line. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is on my chest line, I'm going to measure the shoulder measurement I used, which is 8.5. Then I'm going to draw a straight line like so across. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to come down from the shoulder line by 1 inch. So this will serve as the shoulder slope. Okay, so I'm going to connect it to the neckline. All right, so after connecting it to the neckline, then I'm going to, from the chest line here, I'm going to measure what I have left here, which is about 8 inches. So you divide it by 2, which is 4. Mark that 4 inches. Then from that 4 inches, I'm going to go in by 0.75 inches for the front. So I'm going to use my ruler now to connect the line. Okay, so that's after connecting. Then on my bust line, I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 4 inches, so I'm going to mark it like so. Then on the waist, I'll do the same thing. I'll mark, then I'll draw a straight line there. Okay, so on the waistline, I'm going to take my that measurement. So on both ends of the waistline, I'm going to go in by what, half an inch on both ends like so. And then on the bust point, to prevent the bust point from being pointy, go down from the bust point by 1 inch and then connect the dart legs. Okay, so that's what we'll have for that. So on my chest line now, I'm going to divide my bust measurement by 4, and um I'm going to divide my bust measurement by 4 on the chest line. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 41 inches. Divided by 4 is going to give me 10.25. Okay, so mark that 10.25, and you can also add half an inch for ease. Okay, which is totally optional. Then on the waistline, the waist I'm working with is 33. Divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. So the waistline working with, it's 34 inches. Divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. So I'll mark that 8.5. Remember, we took 1 inch for that here. So you are going to replace back that 1 inch you took. So I'm going to replace it back now. And then I'm going to just connect the lines together like so. So that's that. I've already connected the lines together. Then I'm going to use my armhole curve now to connect all the points together. Okay, all the points we are working with. So you're going to connect this way. So that's for the armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do now is, the difference between the front and the back is 1 inch. So you are going to use that 1 inch and take it as the bust dart. So you, from the bust line, go down by 1 inch. Okay, then from this bust pan measurement, also come out here by what, 1 inch. Then connect the two lines together. Okay, so this is all for the front block. So I'm just going to connect the neck to the neckline like so with my curve. Okay, so this is all for the front block. Okay, so this is going to be the front bodice. So the next thing we are going to do now is to draft the back bodice. Okay, okay, so we are going to be drafting the back block now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to take in my zipper allowance. So the zipper allowance I'm going to be using is 1.25 inch here. So I'm just going to mark out that 1.25 inch first. So this is going to serve as our zipper allowance. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, right now, from here, from the zipper allowance here, I'm going to mark 3 inches width, just the way we used it for the back, and I'm going to mark 8.5 inches for the shoulder. Okay, and then going to connect it this way. So this is the shoulder, this is the neck width. So for the neck depth for the back, I'm going to be using 1 inch. Okay, and then from the shoulder to the chest line, remember we use 9 inches for the front, so we are also going to do the same for the back. Okay, so measure your 9 inches. Then shoulder to waist, remember I use 17 inches for the front. Then for the back, I'm going to use 16 inches for the back here. So I'm going to be using 16 inches for the back. So I'm going to connect the line. So this is the chest line. Then this is the waistline. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to label it now. This is the chest line and this is the waist line. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to be doing now is on the chest line, I'm going to take my bust span measurement, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to mark that now, 4 inches on both ends. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to connect these lines together. Then for the dart leg, since at the back is not really curvy, okay? So what you are going to do is, for the back dart leg, you can use 0.25 inch to 1 inch, okay? But for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 0.25 inch on both ends, okay? So you can use 0.25 inch or 0.5 inch for the dart leg. So I'm going to connect the lines like so, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to do our back tightening. The back, to in order to eliminate zip your back, in order to prevent your zip from bulging out at the back, so what you do is to come to your waistline here, come down to your waistline here, and then you just simply go in from your waistline by either 0.5 inch or 0.75 inch, but I'm going to be using 0.5 inch in this tutorial. Then you just place your ruler this way, okay? Place it this way, and then you connect the lines like so. So this way you have eliminated what? The excess at the back. So we are going to be cutting out this part, okay? We're going to be cutting out that part. So the next thing I'm going to do on my chest line, I'm going to impute my bust measurement divided by 4. So 41 divided by 4 is going to give me 10.25 here. So whatever you have left here, I think, which is the elimination you are going to be eliminating, I think it's about let me check, 0.25 inch. You can add it back, okay? Add that 0.25 inch back. Then on the waistline, our waist is 33 inches. Divided by 4 is going to give us 8.5. So I'm going to be measuring that 8.5 from the zipper allowance here, not from the end, please, from the zipper here. So I'm going to mark 8.5 at that point. Then what you have as the dart leg, which is 0.5 inch, you have to add it back, okay? Then the 0.5 inch you took for the back tightening, also add it back, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join all my lines together. So I'm going to connect all my lines like so. Okay, so sorry, on the chest line, sorry, we have to measure the shoulder measurement, which is 8.5 here, so that I can connect the shoulder line like so. So I'm going to connect this shoulder line like this, then come down from the shoulder by 1 inch also for shoulder slope, and then connect the line. Okay, so after connecting the line, the next thing I'm going to do now is to measure what I have here, which is 8 inches. Divided by 2 is 4. From that 4 inches, go in by 0.5 inch. Okay, then I'm going to use my curve now to connect all the lines together like this. Okay, good. So this is that for the back. The back is very, very simple. And then the neck area, I'll just connect it this way for the neck. So that's that for that. So this is going to serve as our back bodice. Okay, So that's all for now. So let me open it up now so that we can see both the back and the front here. Good. So can you see? So this is the back and the front. All right, so I've already cut out the front and the back here. If you notice, the front block and if you look at the back block, this is the back block is about 1 inch shorter than the front. So what I simply did is that I extended this front block this way. So what you just simply do is to just pick up this part of the front block and then you place it like so. Okay, you place it like this. But before you do that, you can, so what you just simply do is to slash open the waist dart. Slash open the waist dart, please. Okay, and then you move this one, you close the bust dart. Okay, so you slash open the waist dart and you close it. So if you notice, there's usually a little excess around this place, so all you simply need to do is to blend. So just wring the yarn together like so. Okay, so this all, so you can secure it with a masking tape or a pin. So now after closing it up, just secure it with a pin. Okay, so I'm going to secure mine with a pin. So that's all. So that's basically it. Cut off the excess remaining there. Okay, so if you look at it now, the front and the back are now of the same length. Okay, so thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.